Hello everyone, Speedrunner 0-18 here, and welcome back to episode 15 of the Pokemon Speedrun Analysis series, where we see how fast a Pokemon can potentially beat a certain game. In the previous episode, we did Ivysaur and Pokemon Emerald. Having access to moves like Growth and Sleep Powder definitely helped in most fights, but the few fights it struggled at, it really struggled at. Today, we'll be seeing how fast Jynx can beat Pokemon Yellow after intense routing and grinding. Jynx is one of those weird Pokemon that everyone knows about but never uses. Jynx is most well known for the blackface controversy. Even though it wasn't really blackface, it was just a shadow, and that wasn't what Game Freak had intended in the first place, but let's keep politics out of the channel. But actually, I found out while researching for this video, in the 3DS Virtual Console version of Yellow, they edited Jynx sprite to be purple. This sprite has 5 colors on it, which is actually impossible on the OG Game Boy, which could only show 4 colors or shades at a time. I found that very interesting. Anyway, Ice and Psychic are both very OP types in Kanto, but what isn't OP is Jynx's moveset via level up. Only Pound and Lovely Kiss until level 18 where we learn Lick. At least Lovely Kiss has a 75% chance to put the enemy to sleep, like Sleep Powder, so maybe that will help. Also, Ice Punch is a Gen 1 move, yet is special. It is actually a worse version of Ice Beam. At least in Gen 4 with the physical special split, it became a better move. Via TM, we actually get some good Gen 1 staples, like Ice Beam, Psychic, Mimic, Bubble Beam, and all the rest. I know for sure we'll be using Psychic and Ice Beam, since why wouldn't we? But before we get started, if you happen to like this series and would like to see more, please like, comment, and subscribe. It really means a lot to me on our journey to 1,000 subs. Now, let's get into it. 3, 2, 1, go! The first rival fight is just a simple sweep with Pound, but Eevee is often pretty difficult to face due to it having Stab, Tackle, and Tail Whip, which does a ton of damage. Sometimes I lose this fight, but if that happens, I just start the entire run over until I win. There's also no need to talk about the kind of Jynx we went with, since there are no natures in this game, and there's literally no reason to change your DVs to anything other than 15, since there is no hidden power. What I will talk about is Brock. Brock is just not going to cut it with our current moveset. Pound will do very little damage, and we can't use Lovely Kiss to put his Pokemon to sleep since he has 5 full heals per Pokemon, which is just plain dumb. If Brock didn't have those full heals, tons of poison types would have an easier time. Just poison his team and hope you live. And since we have to be level 18 for our next move, Lick, that will be our level to grind for. Rock is neutral to Ghost, so it'll be the best move to go. Let's get to the grind. Go montage! After getting to level 18 on the Light Years trainer, we learn Lick and face Brock. You may think 18 is overpowered for Brock, but just look at this fight. Things can definitely go south if I were to get bad luck. But that doesn't happen, and I win the fight first try for a Brock split of 21 minutes and 30 seconds. The Route 3 trainers were all very easy, as they usually are if you have to grind for Brock. And in Mount Moon, I pick up the TMs for Water Gun and Mega Punch. Jynx has way better special than attack, so this will be nice to have, especially for the rock types coming ahead. I also grabbed the rare candy too. Then, after defeating the Super Nerd with Water Gun and grabbing the better fossil, I send Jesse and James blasting off and I enter Cerulean City, where I heal up, get the rare candy, and I choose to fight Rival 2 first instead of Misty. Since I'm over leveled for this point in the game, the rival fight was just spamming Water Gun and Mega Punch. Preceding the very easy Route 24 and 25 trainers, I pick up the Ether, rescue Bill, get the ticket, spam Mega Punch on the bystander, and then I heal at the center and enter the gym. Misty had me real nervous through routing. Misty has good AI, so she'll prioritize not using not very effective moves. But since Jynx is not resistant to water, there is a good chance we see Bubble Beam, which is a 65 base power water move which includes Stab. That is not good, but let's see how the fight goes. Misty's Staryu is just spam Mega Punch, and on Starmie, I need to hit 3 Mega Punches, but then Starmie crits a Bubble Beam and I miss a Mega Punch. This fight nearly made me piss myself since I didn't save beforehand. I did not want to redo that grind for Brock again. But luckily, I win the fight first try for a time of 30 minutes and 41 seconds. I also forgot to heal for the junior trainer with 3 Pidgeys and I almost died to a quick attack. So I decided that after the fight, I'll actually use a potion, defeat the second junior trainer, and enter the SSN. I will be grabbing the TM for Body Slam just so I don't have to deal with Mega Punch being inaccurate. I don't get the TM for Rest today though since we don't need it. I then grab the Gentleman Candy and fight Rival 3. This fight is just a joke, so let's move on. With Cut obtained and Super Potions and Repels bought, it is time for Lieutenant Surge. The plan here is to spam Body Slam, but with Surge having random AI, this fight is either very easy or just downright difficult. I was expecting to endure a reset or two, but I actually won the fight first try. After defeating Surge rather quickly, I get the bike voucher, Squirtle, exchange the voucher for a bike, and do the Route 9 Rock Tunnel Gauntlet of Trainers. The Rapping Lass is a problem in this run since her Oddish do not go down in one hit, and can hit a Stun Spore on me, but luckily that doesn't happen. Other than her though, everyone else is very easy, so let's skip straight ahead to Celadon City, where I heal at the center and go shopping. I buy my Super Repels, 2 Pokédolls, and 2 Fresh Waters to exchange one of them for Ice Beam, and today's Vitamin of the Day is Calcium. I'm going to be relying on special moves more than physical, so I feel like this is more important. With the shopping over, I get Fly, teach it to Pidgey, teach Jynx Ice Beam over Lick, and go battle Rival 4. This fight is also a joke, just mostly one-shots, but Shelter was a 2-shot with Body Slam. After going through Pokemon Tower, picking up both elixirs and the rare candy, I defeat Jesse and James yet again, and rescue Mr. Fuji from their grasps to obtain the Poke Flute. I then fly to Celadon City and do the Cycling Road Safari Zone crap. I pick up the rare candy on Cycling Road, and in the Safari Zone, get the usual Full Restore, Protein, Gold Teeth, and Surf. I can now either fight Erica, Koga, or Rival 5, and I choose to do Rival 5 first. I wanted to get to Saffron City right away for the TM for Psychic. After getting it, I enter Silphco, do the bare minimum here, and fight Rival 5. This is the first fight in a while where I needed to rely on Lovely Kiss RNG. I use an Ice Beam on Sandslash and 2 Psychics on Cloyster. I use my first Lovely Kiss on Magneton to prevent paralysis, and then I arrive at Flareon. The thing just wouldn't stay asleep, and I get trapped in Fire Spin causing my first reset. But on the next try, Flareon stays asleep for more than 3 seconds and I finally win. With no need to mention Jesse and James or Giovanni due to me having Psychic and Ice Beam, I get the rare candy and Carbos on the 10th floor, cause some property damages, and get the TM for Mimic and wipe out the fighting dojo while I'm here. I needed the extra levels for the endgame. Jynx has to be a somewhat high level for the champion, so this extra training is needed. I also do extra training in Erica's gym. All her gym trainers are very easy to take down, especially with Psychic and Ice Beam. I use an elixir before Erica, and then just spam Ice Beam on her team, a series of one-shots, for a split time of 48 minutes and 33 seconds. The next stop on the itinerary is Koga. I'll just say that Koga plus Stab Psychic equals massive stonks. Although Venomoth is a 2-shot and has Leech Life, it can't do nearly enough damage to be a problem, so that's irrelevant. With Koga out of the way, I obtain Strength, teach it and Surf to Squirtle, get the Boulder Candy, and leave the Warden's house. Most of the time afterwards I fight Blaine, but since he has tons of fire types, I go fight Sabrina first. One problem with Sabrina is that her Abra isn't a knockout at this level, but it has a good chance of missing Flash since it's only 75% accurate in this game. Or I could go for Lovely Kiss, but her other 2 Pokemon I have to use Lovely Kiss on. Plus her Alakazam has Reflect, making it take forever to knock out with Body Slam. This fight ends up taking 2 tries for these reasons. Now, it's time for Blaine, but first, I do some more training on the trainers in his gym. It's actually kind of frustrating that in order to fight his trainers, you have to answer the riddle first, except for this guy for some reason. While in Red and Blue, you can just talk to all of them. They actually kept it like that in the remakes too, so this phenomenon of solving the riddle first is a Yellow exclusive. After the trainers are done, I battle Blaine. This fight was much harder in routing, but with my last minute changes to the route, it made it a lot easier. I was able to keep Lovely Kiss for the entire run, so in this fight, I just put all of his Pokemon to sleep and knock him out with Ice Beam, which fire types did not resist in Gen 1, and I achieve a time of 55 minutes and 33 seconds. Jynx is performing great so far, despite her 21-minute Brock split. Giovanni is actually very easy. I just outspeed everything and spam Ice Beam. Now for Rival 6. Let's see if he provides a challenge to this glass cannon of a Pokemon. His first two Pokemon, Sandslash and Execute, go down to 1 Ice Beam, and on Magneton I use 2 Psychics, but I do get Thunder Waved, which sucks, but I somehow land a Lovely Kiss on Flareon and I win the fight. Thunder Wave is usually a death sentence due to the speed drop and the chance of not attacking. I was actually quite surprised I won that fight. After going through Victory Road like usual, I heal at the Indigo Plateau, buy some full restores, teach Mimic over Body Slam since we no longer need it, and I battle the final 5 trainers. Let's do this shit! On Lorelei, her Dewgong and Cloyster go down to Psychic spamming, and then on Slowbro, I mimic Amnesia just so I can use it 3 times and take down the rest of her team using Ice Beam on her Slowbro and Jynx, and Psychic on her Lapras. This fight takes more than 1 try, mostly due to bad luck with Slowbro attacking me too much while I set up Amnesia. On Bruno, do I even have to say it? On Agatha, I mimic her Gengar substitute, use it to prevent Confuse Ray, plus only Mega Drain can actually damage me here, since in Gen 1, Psychic is immune to Ghost due to a bug, and I defeat her Gengar with Psychic, use Ice Beam on Golbat, and then Psychic on everything else. On Lance, his Gyarados goes down with Psychic, and then everything else on his team is a one-hit with Ice Beam. His Aerodactyl can outspeed me, but his moves don't do enough damage to KO me unless Fly were to crit or something, so I win the fight first try. Now for the champion. You may expect the champion to be easy too due to how the last several fights went, but you're wrong. This is actually the hardest fight in the entire run. This was the fight I saved all my rare candies for, allowing me to be level 64. This is just 1 away from the next damage rounding threshold, but that doesn't really matter. I'll just discuss the winning attempt and you can see why this fight was hard and took several resets. On Sandslash, I have to put it to sleep, mimic Earthquake, and KO it with Ice Beam. On Alakazam, he dies to just 2 Earthquakes, but has the chance to use Kinesis or confuse me with Psybeam. On Exeggutor, I have to put it to sleep to prevent Leech Seed, which would kill me since I'm not using Rest. On Magneton, I don't put it to sleep since he only has a 1 in 4 chance to use Thunder Wave, so I'm not too worried. On Cloyster, I also put it to sleep since his Clamp can really destroy me. And finally, Flareon. I have to put him to sleep and take him out with Ice Beam, and then Jynx achieves a time of 1 hour and 7 minutes and 15 seconds and a game time at the Hall of Fame of 4 hours and 12 minutes. Jynx had an awful early game due to Brock, which seems to be the norm for a lot of Pokemon in this game. But despite that rough start, Jynx was able to breeze through the mid and late game except for the champion, which took a few tries. I'm quite impressed by how Jynx did. If it had started with Water Gun, or a weak ice move or something like that, this could have been way better of a run. But for now, Jynx gets 5th place on the yellow leaderboard. For the next episode, we'll be doing Pokemon Leaf Green with Chimecho, a Psychic type in Kanto. I wonder if this will be overpowered too. Also, just a note, I'll be saving all my old 386 Speedrun Challenge redos, except for the legendary races, for one giant special that should hopefully be out by the end of the year, so that way we can finally see some new Pokemon. I hope y'all enjoy it. Please like, comment, subscribe if you want to see more. Thank y'all for watching, and I'll see you in the next speedrun.